Welcome to Traditional Painting the Digital Way. This is where I use digital painting apps to teach traditional painting techniques. In this video, we're going to start a brand new painting, and I'm going to show you how to paint an old ranch gate in the snow. Now, this painting was my 2017 Christmas card, and you can either customize this for a Christmas card or you can do it for just a plain old winter scene. Here are the brushes that I use for this painting if you want to follow along traditionally. I use a 2-inch flat wash, a number 10 bristle brush, a number 8 filbert, a number 10 flat brush, a number 6 flat brush, a long script brush, and a short script brush. You can also use a number 3 round if you want to as well. I use canvas board for the surface, and here are all the colors that I use, and I mainly use Grumbacher Academy acrylics. So I wanted to get some good photo references of old ranch gates, so I got a bunch at Morgue File and Pixabay where they have royalty-free photos for artist references, and so I got a few of those. And then I decided that I wanted my picture to be at nighttime. So what I did is I took a mixture of ultramarine blue and purple, burnt umbers and hooker's green and alizarin crimson, and just mixed them all together to make a kind of a dark mixture, but we don't want a totally black mixture. And I used kind of a crisscross stroke to make the sky, just kind of blend it a little bit. And I used the Leo brush to do that. And you can use your number 10 bristle brush for this step if you are following along traditionally. And then for the stars, I used the inky brush in Infinite Painter. And you can use a toothbrush with a really thin liquid mixture and just spray it on your sky if you're following along traditionally. And then here I wanted to do a full moon, so I used the circle guide in Infinite Painter and used a really light yellow color. And if you're following along traditionally, use cadmium yellow light with a lot of white in it. And to make a round circle, you can either use a compass or just grab a bottle cap or something, depending on the size of the painting that you want. And then here I'm wanting to add a little bit of the look of the craters that are on the moon. So just make some little brown smudges with kind of a tan color and just make them look kind of like the craters that you see on the moon. Just give it a little bit of a uneven texture. And then here I went ahead and saved it because you never know what can happen, so always save. And then the next thing that we want to do is add in the distant mountains, and we just want to put in some distant mountains for kind of a little background. We don't want it to be really detailed or anything, but we just kind of want a feeling of depth in our picture. So I'm using kind of a light blue or grayish color, and you can use ultramarine blue or burnt sienna if you're following along with your acrylics, and throw in a lot of white acrylic gesso. And then make 2 layers of the mountains just to give a little bit more depth. And I threw in a little bit more of dioxazine purple to those. And then you kind of want to add a little bit of indication of snow on the mountains. So take a really light blue color, lighter than your mountain color, and just kind of add a really soft look to your mountains. And you would use a dry brush technique if you're following along with traditional acrylics, and just kind of smudge it with your finger. And you can use some of the brushes from the pastel category or the sketch category in Infinite Painter if you want a really kind of a grainy look. And I'm just working a little bit more on the snow right at the foot of the mountains right there, and kind of smudging it in. We just want really a soft look to the mountains in the background. We don't want anything really detailed. And then I'm starting to add the snow here, and you can add purple colors or light blue, just to give it kind of different variations, like the moonlight is bouncing off of it and it gets darker as it comes towards you. And then when you do the road, go ahead and use kind of a little bit darker mixture. Throw in a little bit more ultramarine blue if you're following along traditionally, and just kind of give the road a little bit of a darker color. And also we want it darker on the edges of our picture so that that keeps the viewer's eye engaged and interested in our picture. And here I'm just kind of adjusting the look of the road here. You want it in 1-point perspective, so you're going to make it really small towards the horizon, and it's going to widen out as it comes towards the edge of the painting. And also keep it kind of with horizontal strokes of your paint there when you make the road, because you don't want it to look slanted, because then it won't look correct. You want it to be horizontal and straight. And then I'm adding the old fence posts here, and we're going to do the big post for the gate. You can use burnt umber if you're following along traditionally. And just kind of make these not real straight. I wanted them to look kind of old and crooked and just kind of a jagged shape. And then I added 2 more posts on each side there to make the fence. And just keep them also sort of crooked looking and jagged looking. And then here I'm going to add some of the light purple mixture that we've used for our snow and add it on the edges of the post, and it'll look like the moonlight is shining on the snow there. And you just kind of want to put it along the edges of your post. And then we want to do the wire. I wanted to do a wire fence here, and you can use your ink brush category and just get some black ink and make kind of crooked looking lines for the fence. And then we also want to make the wire gate, and this is an old gate that goes across it, and it's made of poles and wire, and you want the poles crooked. And I'm just showing it like it's kind of thrown down right now and just moved out of the way so people can go in and out. And go ahead and put in your crooked posts in it, and then make the wire mesh across the gate and use your ink brushes. And if you're following along traditionally, just use your script brush with a thin inky mixture of a dark blue and dark brown. And then we want to go ahead and kind of settle it into the snow, so we make it look like it's laying in the snow there. On some of the snow is drifted up on the edges of the poles. So this is the end of part 1 of my Ranch Gate series. And in part 2, we'll go ahead and finish it up with the final details, and I'll show you how to personalize it or make it into a Christmas card. So thanks everybody for watching. Thank you so much for your support. If you have any questions, just leave them in the comments down below, and I will catch you later.